Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. If I can't have her, no one can have her. If I can't have her, no one can have her. And this is a form of logic we probably all uttered at some time in our youth, growing up as kids. At least I did. Parents and my sibling were driving down to a vacation spot. We're in the car. Parents are in the front. Me and my sister are in the back. We're headed down the road, and there's this toy. And I loved this toy. And I was supposed to share it with my sister. 30 minutes for me, 30 minutes for her. Supposed to keep the peace and the harmony between the back seat. That was the whole purpose of the system. And so after a couple turns of this, I got to thinking that I didn't real much like that she was invading in on my time with the toy. And so as I got that toy back for that next 30 minutes, I thought to myself that I was going to keep it where she couldn't have it. And so 29 minutes goes by, and I've enjoyed the toy. 29, 30 minutes goes by. I'm coming up on the last 10 seconds of possession of my toy. And I look over, and my sister's anticipating getting this toy. And I look out the window. And at 29:58, I rolled that window down and I threw that toy right over the bridge. Panic ensues. Chaos reigns, and the question is posed, why did you do it? If I can't have it, she can't have it. And so, as I'm leaving for college 10 years later, I just happened to cross that same bridge. And I'm heading up, and it causes me a little bit of a flashback. And so I'm thinking, why on earth would I have made that childish decision? Not only did it affect my use of the toy, but it destroyed any use of the toy to her as well. And I realized you do a lot of growing up in 10 years. And not only that, but that logic itself is flawed. If I can't have it, she can't have it. And so I began to wonder just why I had done something like that. And the answer is that the logic is flawed and it's just childish. I destroyed something that I had no right to destroy. I destroyed something that I didn't create. And I destroyed the harmony within inside of that vehicle. But we're not here to talk about toys. We're here to talk about a young woman. We're here to talk about a mother and a daughter. And we're here to talk about a man and a father. And because they have no more life to lead, we're here to talk about the deaths of Emily Richitell and Ashley Altman. And so a little bit of background about this case is that defendant, Ronnie Todd and Emily Richitell, were dating in the early part of 2022. And that everything was going just fine. And in the early part of July, that ended. They broke up. They took a break. And Ron went on a work trip. And things went south. Quick. And he gets back to Georgetown. And things get worse. we approach the later part of July, Ron was talking to a friend of his named Bun. And they're out in the driveway, just chit-chatting. And shortly after that trip, Ron goes back to his house. And Ron arms himself. And Ron drives over to 4012 North Fraser Street. Ashley Altman lives at 4012 North Fraser Street. And when he gets there, finds Ashley and Emily, enters the home, and he shoots them in the back of the head, blows their brains out. And he leaves there, and he returns to his home. You've been impaneled and selected as jurors because both parties, state as well as defendant, as well as the judge, has decided that you can be impartial in weighing the evidence on this case. You can give this man a fair trial because he deserves it and because our Constitution demands it. It demands an impartial trial. And so you have 3 jobs this week. As the judge said earlier, give us your undivided attention. But essentially, the 3 jobs are that you look, that you listen, and you make a decision. And being a juror is simple, but it is not easy. It is not easy to sit in these chairs and to give the talking heads that come before you, like me, all of your undivided attention. But we would ask that you do so because it is so very important. And so I want to give you a couple things to look out for and to listen for. And one of those things I want you to listen for is something that the defendant didn't know when he showed up to 4012 North Fraser Street the night of July 20th into the wee hours of the 21st. And there was a young boy in the bathroom a couple feet away. It was the son of Ashley Altman. And he was in that bathroom, and he heard what his Uncle Ronnie did in the last seconds that Ashley Altman faced down that gun. And he's going to be here, and he's going to tell you what he heard. Listen closely. Listen very closely. And I want you to look, pay very close attention to the shells and the bullets in this case. They have certain characteristics that may not be normal. Check them out. Look at them. You'll have time to deliberate back there. You can take them in your hands and look at them. Look at the shell casings that were found in Ronnie Todd's garage. And then I want you to look at the the bullets that were found in Ashley Altman. I want you to look at the bullets that were found at the crime scene. And you're going to notice 3 distinct similarities. And they are consistent between all 3 places. Look at them. Look at them closely. And then I want you to listen to the friends of this man, to his very own friends. They'll be up here in this witness box, and they're going to tell you exactly what they know. Pay very, very close attention. You listen to those things and look at those things, and you'll know the reason that we're here this week. And it'll leave you firmly convinced that the reason we're here this week is because if I couldn't have her, no one could. That's why we're here. And so what does the state have to show? We've got to show that this man unlawfully killed another with malice aforethought. What is malice? Just hate in the heart. Just hate in the heart. Either express or implied. You can read it, you can tell it. And then what is a forethought? It's not that it's a premeditation. That's not the law in South Carolina. A forethought can be formed in the inkling of an eye in a split second. It just means essentially there's a conscious decision to act with that hate in the heart. And so the state is here to prove those two things. That Ronnie Todd did on or about July 20th through 21st of 2022 did murder Emily Richitell. And that on or about July 20, 2021st, 2022, did murder Ashley Altman. Listen close and give us your undivided attention. I think you'll be firmly convinced of the reason why we're here, and we'd ask that you render a just verdict after you've heard that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Biden. Mr. Wilson.